Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're jumping into a brand that's been making waves, FrejaNYC.com.
Right.
It's this boutique label, seems to be everywhere. And honestly, it presents a bit of a puzzle. You see it praised in huge fashion magazines like Vogue even.
Yeah, exactly.
But then look elsewhere online, and the user feedback, well, it's not quite so glowing.
That's the core conflict, isn't it? We've got these minimalist, very functional-looking bags and accessories. They look premium. The brand talks responsible sourcing, timeless design. But the mission for us today is, beyond the hype, beyond the Vogue features, are these products actually a good investment for you? Or is it maybe more style over substance?
Okay, let's tackle the legitimacy first.
Yeah.
Is this even a real established company?
Well, yeah, seems so.
The domain, FrejaNYC.com, it's been registered since 2019. So that's what, over 5 years they've been operating online. That's nothing.
No, definitely not a pop-up shop. And their social media presence is substantial. You mentioned Instagram.
Yeah, 157,000 followers. That suggests a pretty significant community and, recognition. It feels like a real brand footprint.
And it's not just follower counts. The type of recognition is, frankly, quite high level. We're talking features in Elle, Vogue, Business Insider.
Wow, okay.
That's serious mainstream fashion press. Tells you they're definitely seen as legitimate players within that world. You don't just stumble into Vogue.
Right, and they're not hiding either. We found the founder, Jenny, the photo's right there on the website. And her LinkedIn profile's out there, too.
Right.
That adds a layer of, accountability. You know who's behind it.
Okay, so let's recap that part. History, check. Major media validation, check. Transparency with the founder, check. It ticks all the boxes for a credible operation.
It really does.
But, and this is a big but, credibility is one thing. Product quality, especially long-term quality, is another. And this is where things get interesting.
Hang on, though. If Vogue and Elle are featuring them, these are giants in fashion. Doesn't that kind of automatically mean the quality is there? Why should a handful of maybe disgruntled online reviewers outweigh that kind of endorsement?
That's a really fair point, and it gets to the heart of evaluating sources, right? What are Vogue's priorities versus, say, a random person on Reddit? On the Freja site itself, the reviews are, well, predictably perfect, glowing.
Sure, curated testimonials.
Exactly. But step outside that bubble, Trustpilot, for instance. Now, it's a tiny sample size, only 3 reviews, but all 3 are negative. That pulls the score down to a pretty stark 2.8 stars.
Oof, only 3, but all bad. That's telling, even if it's just a few people.
It is. And those sentiments, they echo what we found in more detailed discussions over on Reddit.
Okay, so what are the Reddit folks saying specifically? What's the pattern?
Well, people genuinely seem to like the look.
Yeah.
The minimalist style, the fact that it's vegan leather that gets praised.
Right, the aesthetic and the ethical angle.
Yes. But the complaints consistently circle back to construction and, how the bags actually hold up over time. Hardware failing is a big one.
Ah, like clasps or strap attachments?
Yeah, that kind of thing. Zippers breaking seems to be another common frustration. And some people mention the bags are surprisingly heavy, making them maybe less practical for carrying a lot every day.
So the core structure, the bits that take the strain, might be the weak points.
It suggests that, yeah, maybe the vegan leather itself looks great, but the components holding it all together, or just the overall engineering for daily wear and tear, might not be quite up to snuff for, like, a heavy-duty daily bag.
That's a really important distinction. And for listeners thinking about vegan leather durability, did the Reddit users suggest any alternatives, brands that maybe do it better?
They did, actually. Names like Payne, Manushka, and Angela Roy came up. People seem to feel these brands offered better quality in terms of, hardware and standing up to daily use, specifically within that vegan leather category.
Good to know. Payne, Nanushka, Angela Roy. We'll make sure those are easy for you to find.
So pulling it all together, FrejaNYC, it's absolutely a legitimate brand. The history, the media buzz, the transparency, it's all there.
Established.
But the user feedback, particularly focusing on longevity and those crucial components like hardware and zippers, raises some questions. Questions about whether it lives up to being a true premium investment piece for constant use.
Okay, so the takeaway for you, the listener, seems to be this. If you love the style and you're looking for maybe a statement bag, something for specific occasions, not necessarily your everyday carry-everything workhorse, FrejaNYC could be a great fit. The look is clearly appealing. But If you're investing with the expectation of a super durable bag that you'll use heavily day in, day out for years, the user feedback suggests you might want to pause, maybe check out those alternatives, Payne, Nanushka, Angela Roy, that users felt held up better under pressure. It really underscores how crucial it is to look past the marketing gloss.
Absolutely. And it leaves us with a final thought for you to chew on. When you're trying to figure out if a product is truly worth your money, how do you balance those big, glossy media endorsements, think Vogue, Elle, focusing often on trend and aesthetics against the nitty-gritty, real-world durability critiques from actual users on platforms like Reddit or Trustpilot?
Where do you put your trust?
Exactly. Weighing those different kinds of evidence, it might just change how you shop for quality altogether.